Okay, hey everyone, Michelle Freer here, and just digesting what Ryan and I did this afternoon, and I think it's important to share with all of you. So we went to the Nova exhibit, which is in Toronto till another couple weeks, and then it'll go to Washington. It's been in Miami, it's been in New York. And the Nova exhibit, for those of you who don't know, it is a forensic exhibit of what happened on October 7th in Israel. So the Nova Festival is a festival of light and dancing and this incredibly peaceful, amazing festival. And on October 7th, it was the point of contact for Hamas when they came in, terrorized, raped, murdered the Jews, Israelis. And so this exhibit takes you through this journey of what the festival was and then what happened. And we had the privilege actually of hearing one of the survivors of Nova testify for the very first time at the end of the exhibit. And I found it really interesting to go through it with Ryan, because I know a lot of this from a political perspective of what is happening in the rise of anti-Semitism. Not that Ryan doesn't know that, but it was interesting to watch his intake of it. And the first thing that jumped out at me is when we were driving up and we were trying to find it, and we're like, oh, I think it's right here. And I said, no, it'll be right where those police cars are, because they need to have security, because there's so much anti-Semitism and hate in Canada. And that was pretty surprising to you.
Absolutely. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Just leave people alone. What's the point?
The hate for Jews is very hard to describe when you haven't ever, you grew up in Peterborough, Cavan, where we are, and it's just hard for you to grasp.
It's just not logical.
It's not logical.
What? Just leave people alone, let them do their thing.
But going through that exhibit and watching what the terrorists and Hamas did and continue to do to Jews, and what we're seeing on our streets, like we saw that Barstool guy visiting Canada.
Great promotion for Canada. That was good.
Bringing amazing business, and somebody drives by and says, F the Jews. Yeah. And that's now what Canada's international reputation is, that this is just normal. Okay, what did you take away from that exhibit?
I don't even know. There's a lot to take in. Still processing. Just the hatred, the sheer violence and disregard for human life.
Evil.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, they're not good people who did that. Whoever did that, not good people.
Can you negotiate with somebody like that?
No, not at that point. They don't want to be. Whoever does something like that, no.
Do you think seeing the exhibit, walking through the exhibit, is beneficial, even though it's really hard to watch?
Yeah, you have to do hard things.
I thought a lot about it, and it's hard. Like, you're watching video testimony from mothers who lost their children. You're seeing beautiful, beautiful women raped and tortured and carried through Gaza like a trophy, where it's very, very dark, evil stuff. And there's this one clip where the Hamas, the terrorist, phones his dad, and he's so proud. He says, I killed 10 Jews with my own hands. And he's so proud. And that doesn't happen overnight. That hate that you want to erase a race. That is generations of hate. And we've been here, like the one guy said at the end, we will, I'm the survivor. I'm the first generation of a Holocaust survivor. My daughter will be the first generation of a Nova survivor. Like, do you think people forget what the Holocaust is, or that it wasn't real, or like, what do you think?
I do think if things go too far in the past, you don't talk about history, you're doomed to repeat it. I think we've always said that. We get guilty of erasing our past. You don't learn from it. Whoever did this stuff is just vile. There's no place in the world for that, let alone Canada.
And it's here. Like, I think people don't want to believe. Like, it's because it's so dark. You don't want to believe it's here.
Yeah, it just shows, I don't know, people just, pick your topic, right? It's not happening here. Well, it is. Just because you don't want to believe it doesn't mean it's not happening. You need to grow up a little bit, I think. That's the other, everything's all roses and rainbows and everyone gets a hug and it's going to be okay. It's not true. It'd be nice if it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have to see it. And I would encourage you to go. And I think it's important for kids to see it. There was a ton of schools there, which I thought was really, really great. But I want to leave you with this, because I love this about the exhibit. You walk through the exhibit and it's very set up, like it shows you the light of the festival, and then it takes you through the darkness and the atrocities that happened, and the murder and the rape and the torture for 7 hours. It's a long, long time. And then they bring you back to the light. And they bring you back, we will dance again. And I think that, to me, was like, there's hope, there's light, and we have to hang on to the light. And I think the other thing that really stuck with me was, they want you to shut up. They want to silence you. They want to tell you that you're wrong, that you're the problem, and that this isn't happening. And that is exactly the indication that you need to keep talking and exposing the truth. And when you censor people being able to share that, that's when you have a real dangerous situation. But I love that you got to come out at the end of the light, and we will dance again was the end message. What was it for you?
I don't know. I don't think I've got an end message yet. Still a lot to take in. I'd say it's a lot of families lost their children, their friends, loved ones. There's no need for it. It's just gross. It's vile.
What would you do if I told you, if you don't already know this, which I think you already do, but the Canadian government, the Liberals, have been thanked twice by Hamas?
Yeah, I mean,
are those people you want to be friends with?
Not high on my list.
For Canadians who like to have peace and think, okay, well, let's just all get along and everybody has a reason, no need to pick a side. What do you think on that?
I think you have to pick a side in everything.
You've always been really good at that.
Pick a team.
Why?
I think it's actually the way we're wired. Should be part of a group.
You gotta go see this exhibit. You gotta see it. You gotta be educated and informed, and you gotta really know what's happening. And like, this video will cause a lot of people to go bananas. Like, I noticed when I shared the walk, the Israel walk, and there was 56,000 people, and everybody said this is fake. That's when I know we have a problem. We have a problem. Can't fix a problem if you don't acknowledge that you have a problem. And you know, the one gentleman I met, he said his daughter was coming out of a bar at Ottawa last night, and the people were, you know, screaming, "F the Jews, get out of here! You have no meaning. Your life is meaningless. You should be dead." This is what people are saying in Canada to Jewish people. That's not freedom of speech. That's insanity. And not saying something doesn't make it go away.
Very true.
Go see the exhibit. Tell all your friends to go.